Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to our ASEA Masterclass. We're so excited to have each and every one of you with us tonight. We've got an incredible lineup of incredible stories for you tonight. Real people with real results. People who've had things happen in their life and they've had to pivot, and they've pivoted with purpose and passion. So tonight I'm so excited to be the host of this call and introduce you to our very first speaker of the evening. You'll be hearing from Dr. Dick Walker. He's been a medical doctor for more than 38 years. He has 2 board certifications in emergency medicine and internal medicine. He also has a master's degree in public health and preventive medicine with additional training in nutrition, epidemiology, and environmental health. He has worked with this redox signaling technology for more than 7 years now, and he believes it is the technology can change the health of every person on the planet, no matter how old or how young. And Dr. Dick Walker is retired from the ER profession, and he devotes all of his attention now on teaching and educating people about the merits of redox signaling technology. He feels that at this point, he can make a much bigger difference than he did actually before in his practice. So with that, Dr. Dick Walker, over to you.
Hey, Denny, thanks a lot. You said it all. Maybe I can just sit back and enjoy the rest of the show. 7.5 years ago, and it's almost exactly 7.5 years ago that I was first introduced to this. And I think, quite frankly, I was ready for a change. I've always been open to innovative new ways to help people. And even with all of those credentials, I think the thing that I like to do most is to help people prevent problems, or people who are struggling to get their health back and introduce them to something new that actually works. And I just love being able to do that. But we needed something different in the area of prevention. We've been talking about micronutrients and lifestyle, and for 20 years we were talking about antioxidants, but we really didn't have anything new. I just knew that if we came up with something, it was going to come from cellular biology and molecular stuff. That's where things were happening in the research. As I would read what's going on in anti-aging and what's going on in prevention, it was all talking about molecules and cellular health and stuff that I really had to go back and review, because it was a little bit beyond somebody who had been practicing medicine for over 30 years by that time. And I started to see references to the science of cellular health. And in the anti-aging literature, they were talking about these things called redox signaling molecules, which I, quite frankly, had really never heard of, and that they were leading the way in terms of understanding cellular communication. Something else I really didn't know much about, even though that was, prevention was my area of expertise. But I knew just enough to know that they were way ahead of the curve. I was reading about the science and looking for a technology that I could actually apply in my practice, and found out that there simply was none. That's my 3-year-old. Could you turn that back on, Sean? There simply was no technology that would accomplish that. And so my 3-year-old, we're sheltering in place with my kid. You just never know what a 3-year-old is going to do. So I was searching for a technology, and up pops Denny and Jerry White and said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this stuff?" And I said, "No, and I quite frankly don't believe that it exists." And a week later, I was down at corporate headquarters with Terry and Denny and a couple of others, and we were talking to the team down there. And, I was impressed not only with the scientists, but I was impressed that they had a corporate team that knew what they were doing, because I had been around network marketing for a while, and many of the companies that I looked at just did not have the leadership and the corporate wherewithal to really pull off the introduction of something this big and this important. So I was really very pleased to see that ASEA not only had blockbuster science that was leading the charge in this whole new area that I knew was going to have a profound influence over the health of the planet and everybody on it. But I was also very excited to see that the company knew what they were doing, and that they really had the wherewithal to manage, a breakout technology like this was. And so I went from loving the science, but being really disappointed that I'd probably never see a product in my lifetime, to all of a sudden it was there. It It was like they discovered AI for the human body and nobody knew about it. It just was simply an unknown. And yet the science was very credible. Everything about it really looked like they knew what they were doing. And the technology was very, very interesting. And so I decided that it was time to jump in the product and actually start introducing it. And by the time I had flown back to home, to Spokane, I had already jotted down a whole bunch of names of people who I knew that would benefit from this technology, and more than a few who I thought would be interested in the business model as well. And I'm thinking, how could this be something this incredible and nobody knows about it? I started talking to a few people, and it looked like I was talking about Martian literature or something like that. So I was all in from the very beginning, not just with the technology, but with the business model, because where I was at in my life at the time was that I guess I like to tell people, sort of stuck in a velvet box. I was making plenty of income, but I had no time, no freedom to enjoy it. I was simply stuck. And I didn't know really how to get out of that box because, like everybody said, the instructions are always written on the outside. And if you're on the inside looking in, you're just kind of sunk. And so I started looking at this network marketing model and realized, wow, this was the answer. This was a way that I could take advantage, leverage income, which I never had in my medical practice. I got paid very well when I did a procedure, but I didn't get paid over and over again. And with this business model, when I introduced this to somebody, explained how it worked, and got them excited about it, some of them actually went out and talked to other people, which really gave me leverage. And eventually, within actually less than 2 years, I was making pretty close to as much in my network marketing business as I was in my medical business. And it had taken me a whole lot less time to get on that. So I realized that I had something here that could help others without 12 years of advanced education, to help people just as profoundly as I could in Western medicine, sometimes even more so, without any sort of special degree. And I know it says very proudly that she's got a PhD, a public high school diploma. And I'm thinking, wow, here I spent, I don't know how many years after high school to get other initials I have a name. And in less than 2 years, I was making as much income sharing with people as I was in my medical career. It was at that point that it really sunk in. In fact, I was sitting down with my accountant one day and looking at the checks that we were getting from ASEA. And it was, at that point, he was telling me that I had to start taking money from my 401k. And I was already making way more in my ASEA business than I could afford to take from my 401k. So this is a great plan B. The technology works fantastically well. And I would really urge you to take a very close look at this as something that you might want to entertain adding to your life as well.
Well, Dick, thank you so much. It's been such a joy and a pleasure working with you and Nancy, building truly a business around the globe. And I love that this profession is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, or your level of education. You can have a master's degree, be doctors, or you can have a public high school diploma, and you can make a difference, and you can make a supplemental income. You can make a house payment income, or, you can make a change your life kind of income. And that's what I love about this profession. And I'm so excited for our next speaker as well, will be Leland Duck. And Leland is also, he's had been in orthopedic surgery for 13 years and as an orthopedic surgical physician assistant. He was a founder, co-owner of a retail chain of back stores, founder, co-owner of a global orthopedic sports medicine distribution company for 21 years. He owns and operates his own 450-acre cattle ranch from 1994 to now. I'm often talking to Leland. He's out branding cattle and herding them up. He's also been in this company for a few years and has truly changed his life both physically and financially and his outlook. And so with that, Leland, over to you.
Thank you, Dave, for that introduction. And, I'm excited talk to you tonight about this company, ASEA. Not necessarily its products like I usually do, because I came in through the way of products. My life changed because of this company. I really wanted to talk to you tonight about the financial side of this company, how it can be for you. So if you're there tonight and you're listening in, you're working for somebody else, or you own your own business, I want you to open your mind and think about what I'm going to talk about tonight, because I believe it's important for everybody to have a second or even a third stream of income, especially in a time like what we're going through right now with this pandemic. So many people are affected with our lives and our incomes, and you may be one of those that have been affected. Think about this as a way that you can do something now that maybe as the future comes, this may be the norm. We may have things like this in the future. Be prepared so it doesn't happen again to you. So as Denny was talking about, with my background in orthopedic surgery, I was a PA. I worked for about 72 doctors in different types of surgery, from orthopedics, OBGYN, plastics, pretty much a little bit of everything. I did that for 13 years. I was on call night and day, long hours. I saw a need working for physicians. They could never find products on a timely manner, or quality products. And my little entrepreneur spirit started thinking. So I started a little company on the side and started selling to all the docs. And within a year or so, I was making more money selling to them than I was working for them, even though I was doing both. But then I branched out. I saw an ad in the Wall Street Journal about a company called the Back Store. And I work for the largest back institute in the country, the Texas Back Institute, and they graduates up at Harvard that I worked under. I had great experience working under them. But I thought, wow, what a perfect opportunity. We could do something like that here. So I opened a chain of retail back stores. And to do a national franchise, which is kind of what this network marketing business is. It's a franchise. It's just a different way of doing your business. And actually for this, it's much better. And as we go through the night, you'll see there's less risk than what I did, because we started it up with, I went to, a lot of these people had been patients of ours. I knew them from being patients or in business, but 11 multimillionaires sat on my board. One was Lee Trevino, the golf pro. You might know him. The Hunts here in the Dallas area. Also Dr. Pearl with Pearl Vision Center. I had a great group of people that were hand-selected as we did a national franchise, that we would almost guarantee our success. Dr. Pearl says, I will do it on one term, that once we do our marketing surveys, we'll live by those surveys. Well, we opened multiple stores, strip center, individual setting in a mall, or an individual set store or a strip center. We wanted to see with people with back pain, they would come to those areas. And what was interesting is we were doing 100,000 a month plus in each store. They all did well. They all did extremely well. But at the end of that time, when we did our studies, it proved that we did well because we knew all the docs in town and we had good referrals. And all that time and energy went into, and then we had to shut it down because they didn't want to continue to invest in something that if we took it to a mom and pop around the country, that it might not make it. Well, 90% of our businesses fail in the first year. 95% fail in the first 3 years. So with this network marketing business, we have a company that's been here 10 years. Almost no risk whatsoever, with a product that's an exclusive and nobody in the world has it but us. I mean, as an entrepreneur, you can't find anything better than that. It's just amazing. So anyway, I went back because I had to do something. I started a little distribution company on the side, which my wife and I actually ran for 21 years. I ran it for the first 10 years. And then I decided to jump back into manufacturing, where we built manufacturing braces for the NBA and NFL and all the Olympic teams and all the VA contracts, the VA veterans hospitals, all 156 of them here in the country. So after 10 years, I jumped into that and I left the distribution company with my wife, Donna, and she was the CEO and ran that company for 11 years until we sold it. And then I sold that other company, started another one. So now I'm on my third manufacturing facility. So I'm still doing this part-time. So if you think, well, I can't do this, I have a part-time orthopedic company, I have a full-time working ranch, I have another distribution manufacturing laboratory in Tennessee with another company, and now ASEA. But I will tell you, ASEA now has got my attention as the number one thing that I'm going to be doing in my retirement. I'm going to be looking at phasing out the other ones because I've been able to replace within 3 years an income more than what I made with my other companies. Even though I'm still doing things there and still making money, this has surpassed that. I never would have dreamed that because of what I thought about network marketing, what I'd heard about it in my past years. But what I found out, it's powerful. It's taken over now in the income more than professional sports and more than the music industry. So if you think it's little, it's not. It's big, and it's a great opportunity for everybody. It doesn't matter what your level of education is. You don't have to know anything about it. I didn't know anything when Terry Latham called me. I was embarrassed to tell him that the medical school, I didn't know what redox signaling molecules were, but I didn't. And that should give you hope that you can start something new, like I did in my 60s. To start something new, that's scary, but it wasn't scary because it's not what I knew. It wasn't a personality, or all I had to do was follow the tools that our leaders had put in front of me. So I want to just tell you real quick what I saw in all my years of brick and mortar business now and what I've seen in network marketing business. There are disadvantages and advantages to both, but very few on what I've not seen them on the network marketing side. The disadvantages to brick and mortar business is your rent, your billing, your employees, your utilities, your equipment costs, your maintenance costs for keeping the plant up, your labor cost, your inventory. We had over $1 million in inventory we had to pay for up front. The insurance you pay on your employees. Then you got your office equipment, and you got your printers and your marketing expenses and travel and hotel and meals and 16-hour-a-day jobs, so a real time commitment. This is just amazing, all that goes into what we call brick and mortar business. And yet when I came into this business, I didn't have that. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the employees. I didn't have the overhead rent. I worked from home. I saved money on laundry and meals, eating out and travel. And my office was right here on the cell phone, whether I'm here at my home or at my ranch. I was able to build a very strong, solid business very quickly because of the tools that were laid in place. With the network marketing, I didn't have to go find distributors out there. I didn't have to worry about shipping products. I didn't have to worry about packing them up and getting them ready in the day and taking the orders. This company does everything like that for you. It really allows you just to stay at home and do what you do best, is to call your friends or your family or someone you went to school with or went to church with or work with or whatever, and share this great discovery and this great science, because we're just the messenger. We're here to let them know that there's a new science, not what we're saying. Huffington Post says this is the top 5 emerging sciences in the world today. Number 1 medical, number 1 athletic, and number 1 anti-aging find in our lifetime. I didn't believe that when I first heard it. It was just too good to be true. And that's what I told the team when I met them at the corporate office when I visited. They said, I wish they had a dime for every time I'd heard this. So we've got something that's real. It's not under trial anymore. It's been out for 10 years. We just got something that's very powerful. So on the business side, I couldn't recommend this company or its products anymore. The integrity that we have in our leadership, I don't have to worry about that. And that's one thing I always worry about with my own companies, is the leadership. We've got people at the helm running this ship. They're top notch. The original founder ran a multi-billion dollar division for Kraft Foods. His son, Tyler, is very bright in running this company and teaches Strategic Link, and they're doing things that are taught in the top 50 corporations in America today. This company is a top 50, if you ask me. And I think now in the few years it's been going that we're, I think this last week, 44th position now in the world in network marketing. That is just huge. So I want to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. With the network marketing business, one thing that's great here is that you have a residual income, a reproductive residual income that you don't get when you sell your brick and mortar businesses. I've built 2 10-year stint businesses. I'm on my 3rd one. And when you sell them, they're done. You don't get paid on those anymore. With this, you continue to get paid. That's very powerful. I want to talk about 8 tips now for success with this business. You don't have to write them down. You might just want to listen. If you want to write them down, you can, but this is being recorded. But I'm going to be doing a video later just about this. It'll be a little longer and more detailed, but something that you could use in sponsoring or working to show to people that you're looking at that are looking at this on the business side. Just remember, in this business, it's the little disciplines. I've learned a lot of that from Denny and Terry and my leaders. It's the little disciplines every day. It's not the one big event that matters. It's the little things you do every day. Remember that muscle has recall. Muscle memory. Muscle has recall. If you do these little things every day, it becomes to be a habit. It's like a muscle memory. It continues to work. So it's important to do that. So here are the tips that I want to share with you. Number one, know your mission. Your mission's more important than your commission. Number two, know your story. Be able to tell your story in 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever time you have with whoever you're telling the story to. Know that story and be able to tell it well. Know your company's story. Know the genesis. Watch the video. Understand it. Know all about this company. Know its history. Know its mission statement. Know what this company's all about. Next, know your products. It's not what the product is, but what it does. You need to understand what it does because that's what sells to people, what it does. People's story and what it does. Next, know your reward programs, your loyalty reward programs. Know your enrollment forms, the 12 different enrollment forms. Understand the advantage of those. So when you're talking to people, you can clearly explain this stuff to them and give them the best knowledge you can so they can make a wise decision. Very important that you know these things. Next, know your simplified follow-up plans. What are you going to follow up with your team? Your team has to have a follow-up plan. Everybody can't be going in different directions. You have to be organized and have a follow-up plan. Our leaders have done that. Know your tools. If you don't know your tools, you don't know where to go and find them, you can't do good with this business. You need to follow your tools. And then know that you're a self-leader and that you're self-disciplined. Know that you are enough to do this job. Have self-confidence in yourself. Apply your skills. You already have what it takes because you don't have to know this knowledge. You can learn it. So just know that you're enough. And I'll close with just saying this. You know, you look at the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. You look at the University of Alabama with Nick Saban. Couldn't think of his name for a second. They have a couple of things in common. Nick Saban coached under Bill Belichick. And as I've traveled around the country in the NFL and NBA locker rooms, you see all these positive things on the wall in the locker rooms with these athletes. But one thing that's different about New England and about Alabama is that there's one sign in the locker room and it says, do your job. Don't worry about what the coach is doing. Don't worry about what the lineman's doing. Don't worry about what your quarterback's doing or your running back. Whatever position you have, if this is your business, do your job. Because if you do your job and everybody does their job because we work as a team, we can accomplish so much more together as a team than you can do by yourself. So I encourage you to take a look at this business on a very serious note. And wherever you are tonight, know that you can have more. If it's the willingness to want to move forward, we will help teach you as your upline leaders. We will give you the tools that you need. And you can make a decision that you could actually change your life from this evening, right here tonight, make it a change that I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to be in this predicament again that maybe I'm in right now. So I am so thankful for this company. I'm thankful for this business. And I'm thankful for the gentleman, Terry Latham, sitting on this call with me, that I wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for him. And I said no to him for 2 years. Let that be a lesson to all of you that when somebody says no, they don't mean no. They mean no, I'm going to watch you for a while, or no, timing's not right now. Terry dripped on me in a professional manner, very professional manner. And I'm sure he's glad he stuck with me for 2 years today because we're really growing a great team together. We're having fun together and traveling the world together and just having a lot of fun. So thank y'all for allowing me to come on the call tonight and talk about what this business has done for me, both physically and financially.
Well, Leland, I'm sure glad that he dripped on you for a while as well. It's been such a pleasure and honor working with you, seeing you change lives around the globe. And you mentioned the infrastructures that you had to put in place, you and Dick as well, the high overhead. You know, my husband will often say to me, who is an accountant, a CPA, owns a large accounting firm. He'll say, Denny, do you understand what you've been able to do? All you need is your laptop computer and your cell phone, and you're up and running anywhere. I love that I have this mobile laptop cell phone lifestyle that I can utilize and build a business globally that's now open and operating in dozens of countries. This product is being shipped, just so many countries making a difference. So I'm so excited to also announce our next speaker, which is your sponsor, Leland. And actually, Terry Latham is just a successful global entrepreneur. A little bit of personal on Terry. He's married to his high school sweetheart for 25 years. And I know his 3 wonderful, amazing children. Early on in his software sales, he realized the power of freedom through the network marketing model and the power of leverage, which all of us here are passionate about and want to tell all of you more about as well, which can create an incredible income and lifestyle in these trying times when you use consistent and persistent, dedicated focus. He's also been recognized twice as a top business builder in this profession as well. So Terry, please tell everyone your perspective. Why did you align yourself after having a successful career as well with this company? And what do you think of this leveraged opportunity that we have here with ASEA?
Well, let me first say, I think I was brought onto the Zoom to be the one that everybody can point at and say, if he can do it, I can too.
No, me too. That's me too, right?
Yeah. These medical guys and smart guys, there's me. I live in Dripping Springs, Texas. Look, I've been in network marketing for 20 years. Before that, my wife and I were in software technology. We made a good income. I can't say a living because we had no life. Got exposed to network marketing, and I always like to make it very clear for people. What kept me from this industry was all the hype, smoke and mirrors, and people just tell me it's hard but worth it, and we decided to get involved with it. So when my dad approached me with this industry 20 years ago, I made my decision to be a part of it. And I always came to network marketing for the money side. The fact that the company was with was around the wellness industry. That was appealing to me because for me, the product worked. People tend to talk about the technology and product. Got in that company. I was going to build it to the top like most people say they're going to. Took me 18 months to make my first $2,000 check. I was bad, very defined, really bad. And I always like to let people know that most people have to unlearn more than some people have to learn, and that was me. A few years after that, we were recognized as the top business builder in that company. And I always like to share with people what we learned the first 18 months is where we learned our success. And in this business model, it was different from what I came from in the corporate world. You're an entrepreneur, we came from being an entrepreneur, but you didn't have all the business concerns like Dick and Leland started hit. And you have to, what we refer to as lead from the front. So I was with that company for 12 years, and they started to make some changes, like some companies do. It didn't align with my family. I've got 3 beautiful kids, not because myself, because my wife. They're now 17. They're kind of getting stinky, but they're now 17, 14, and 12. And I made my decision at that time. The company's doing some things that didn't align. And I found myself in a position to look. Other companies, other people found out we're looking. They started, I looked at other companies, and there's 2 that caught my attention, one being ASEA. And truly what caught my attention, there's other people from the company I was with before that had already come over to ASEA. And I made and they were making money. And I didn't understand the product. It was salt water from Salt Lake City, doing something called redox signaling molecules. Had no idea. But we made our decision to be a part of this company for really, truly for that reason. It was an area of science and medicine nobody even heard about. It was 100% non-toxic and native to the body and could do no harm. And I remember when you and Jerry and Trish and Alan were all on the phone together, and Alan was going to tell me about this, was going to tell me a little bit more about ASEA. And before we got into it, I asked Alan, I said, Alan, do you mind if I ask you a question? And he said, what's that? And I said, do you have any kids? He goes, I do. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old daughter. You guys got to understand something. For me, I love this industry of network marketing. I love this industry because I know what it does for people if done the right way. I hang my hat with ASEA. Doesn't mean I believe ASEA is for everybody, but I believe the product is for everybody, and you need to dig into this deep on that side of things. But the reason I decided to be a part of this company was for many different reasons. But at this time, when I'm sitting there talking on the phone, and he made a comment to me that he had 2 little kids, my thing was, I wanted to meet you. I wanted to make sure the people I was going to work with were real. So I remember meeting with him, drove up to his house, and at the time he lived in Frisco, Texas. He was renting a home. There's more to his story. But when I drove up to his home, he lived in a 200,000 $1,000 home, I would say. He had a 2004 XC90 Volvo in the driveway, pretty big dream builder, a Honda Pilot. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm on the front end of this thing. Sat down with him. Long story short, didn't look at me like a slab of meat, but he's making a significant multiple six-figure residual income. And the people had their priorities straight, and that really moved me forward. So we made our decision to get going. We kept this thing very simple. I didn't understand fully the compensation plan. The product for me tasted different. I didn't understand the redox signaling molecules. And I'm the guy, guys, I want to teach you how to use a product. It's real simple. Now, you got the two smart guys on the screen, and you got me. And so they can get into the science. I can teach you how to rub it and drink it. And it's worked quite well for us. I've been able to get in front of people, leverage a tool set that we have in our company that people simply watch a video, utilize a product, and they start to share with other people. And from being able to do that, at the time, we were able to build it to the top of the compensation plan in 18 months. And then we've expanded since then. And I don't tell you guys to be boastful, because I want to go back to, that's the reason I told you the first part of when we decided to get involved in this industry. It took me 18 months to make $2,000. Most people don't give this a fair shot. They tried this. Here's the thing. How about do it? Either do it or you don't. You don't try this. And you got a technology and a product that's, and like I said, it can do no harm. It helps rebuild and replace damaged cells. And if you use it works. But the thing is, if you're willing to do the work, it's going to pay you dividends in the back end of this stuff. And I have people ask me quite a bit, do you think I can do this? Well, the question comes back up to you. If you decide to be a part of ASEA, if you're 110% committed, we can get you there. If you're 99% committed, people always sniff out the 1%. So if you make a decision to be a part of this, I can guarantee you this, guys, it's coming. With or without you or me or anybody on this screen. It's just how big you want to be a part of this. So, Denny, for me, it's been a great ride. I really love being a part of this. Here in the Leland store in Dick, and when Dick and I went out there the first time, it's just amazing what we're able to do, is be able to make a difference while being able to make an income in the process. So thanks for having me tonight.
Absolutely. It's a joy being with all of you. You know, in this challenging time for so many of us right now, it's tough. And we offer solutions. We offer solutions for people's health problems and often that pain that's happening in their back pocket. But I will tell you that one thing that history has taught us is that with every challenge lies great opportunities. During the last recession, for example, companies like Uber, Airbnb, Pinterest, Slack, Venmo, WhatsApp were all launched. In fact, half of all the companies in the Fortune 500 right now were started in a bear market or a recession. Why? They solve problems and they provide real solutions. Today, more than ever, people need to earn income online and from their phone. And in recent years, again, millions of people will hear about this product, and they might as well, your friends, the people that you know, love, and care about, and people that you might know in the future should be hearing about this from you as well. And when you start to understand the leverage that you can create by sharing this product, who shares it with someone, who shares it with someone. I didn't personally sponsor Dick Walker, Leland Duck, or Terry Latham. And as excited and as motivated as I am, I can't share this with enough people. But because of this distribution model and what this can do, as John Paul Getty would say, I'd rather have the efforts of 100 people, 1% of the efforts of 100 people compared to 1% of the efforts, 100% of the efforts of one. Because as they continue to build and to grow their own business, you start to get paid a little bit of a thank you check each and every week. And residual income, leveraged income is powerful income. And so that's what we are here to offer people, with a product that truly makes a difference. I always tell people any income that you generate with this company will be in direct reflection to lives change, because this product makes a difference. This isn't a juice, a berry, which I think are great products, but this is something everybody needs and that everybody can benefit from. So again, everyone, today we'd like you to get back to the person that invited you to this call. Let's get your questions answered. Let's see if this product could make a difference in your life, or perhaps if you're looking for a way to generate some extra income, you'd like to pivot and shift in your own life and think, maybe there's more for me. Maybe there's more for me, as you heard from Dick and Leland, who are now in their 60s, who'd had very, very successful, lucrative careers, but they realized that they wanted to do something more and to be able to affect a change in more people. So we hope that you've gotten some benefit from tonight from these transformational stories. These products, you didn't hear their product stories, but again, they've changed their lives. But to know again that someone like me with a public high school diploma and 2 years of college, can make a difference for people around the globe, and that you can make a difference in your own income and in the lives of your family, but more than that, in the lives of people who you will never know, both in their health and their wealth, is a very exciting place to be. So we're glad you've joined us for this Pivot with Purpose night, and we'll be hosting more in the future. So with that, have a great rest of your night, everyone. I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody here. I want to thank all the hosts. And thanks for joining live with us tonight. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks, Denny.